Sometimes you think you know exactly where your life is headed. You make plans, you build dreams, and you trust the person you're building them with. That was me, 31 years old, married for 4 years, and finally about to become a dad. Or so I thought. My wife and I had been trying for a baby for about a year. When she told me she was pregnant, I was over the moon. I dove headfirst into first-time dad mode, nursery Pinterest boards, baby name lists, reading all the books. I was all in. She seemed just as excited. We went to every prenatal appointment together, picked out paint colors for the nursery, and started talking about what kind of parents we wanted to be. But 3 weeks ago, everything changed. I came home early from work with a splitting headache. My boss told me to take the afternoon off, so I figured I'd surprise my wife. I walked in quietly, and as I was about to call out to her, I heard her voice in the kitchen. She was on the phone with her sister, and she didn't know I was there. I was about to announce myself, but something in her tone made me pause. She sounded calculating. I heard her say, "Once the baby comes, we don't need him anymore. The house is in both our names. I'll get child support, probably alimony. He makes good money. This is the smart play." I froze. My heart started pounding. Her sister's voice was muffled, but I heard my wife laugh. "Of course, he thinks it's his. Why wouldn't he? I've been perfect. The timing worked out exactly right. He'll never question it." She kept talking, saying how boring I was, how the other guy made her feel alive, how she'd been seeing him for over a year. She said, "Once I'm set financially with the baby, I can figure out what I really want. Worst case, I'm a single mom with a nice house and his money. Best case, the other guy steps up and I get to be happy and secure." I stood there, numb, listening to my wife plan out my replacement. She was so sure of herself, so certain I'd never catch on. I backed out of the house as quietly as I could, got in my car, and just sat in a parking lot for an hour, trying to process what I'd heard. The baby might not even be mine. That night, I went home at my usual time and acted normal. She kissed me, showed me a new onesie she'd bought, asked about my day. I smiled, nodded, played along. But inside, I was shattered. I lay awake that night, staring at the ceiling, listening to her snore softly beside me, wondering how long she'd been lying to me. The next morning, I called a lawyer. Not to file for divorce, at least not yet. I needed information. The lawyer explained paternity testing, told me I could request it after the baby was born, but also mentioned that there were now non-invasive prenatal paternity tests. He told me to document everything, protect my assets, and let her think she was winning while I gathered evidence. So, for 3 weeks, I played the perfect husband. I was excited about the baby, went to every appointment, rubbed her feet, did everything she wanted. But I also set up a prenatal paternity test. I told her I wanted to surprise her with a private 3D ultrasound at a boutique clinic. She loved the idea. What she didn't know was that it was actually a paternity testing clinic 3 towns over. I'd already sent in my DNA sample. They took her blood, gave us some ultrasound pictures, and said the results would be back in 2 weeks. When the results came in, I sat in my car in the clinic parking lot, staring at the paper. 0% probability of paternity. The baby wasn't mine. I felt everything and nothing at the same time. I went home, ate dinner, watched TV with her, and pretended everything was normal. A few days later, she started talking about throwing a big gender reveal party. All our friends were doing them, she said. We should too. That's when I got my idea. You know what? I said. Let's do it. Let's go big. Invite everyone. Her face lit up. Really? You'd want that? Yeah, I said. Let's celebrate. I rented a venue, invited her entire family, my family, all our friends, about 80 people in total. I ordered blue smoke cannons, the clinic told me it was a boy, and set up a projector for a special video montage. I spent hours putting together a PowerPoint presentation, making sure every detail was perfect. The night before the party, my wife was so excited she could barely sleep. She kept talking about who was coming, what people would think, how perfect it would be. I nodded along, confirmed the venue, the caterer, the photographer she insisted we hire. Saturday morning, we got to the venue early to set up. She directed everything like a wedding planner. The decorations were neutral, yellows, and greens, since we were keeping the gender a secret. The smoke cannons were in position. The photographer was ready. I set up the projector myself, telling everyone it was for a special video after the reveal. Guests started arriving around 2 p.m. Her parents, her siblings, her best friends from college, my parents, my brother, friends from work, neighbors. Everyone was excited. People kept coming up to me, patting my back, saying how they couldn't wait to meet my son. My wife was glowing, working the room, accepting congratulations, rubbing her belly, playing the perfect mom-to-be. I watched her, looking for any sign of guilt or nervousness. There was nothing. She was completely comfortable in her lie. Around 3 p.m., we gathered everyone outside for the reveal. Her dad made a speech about becoming a grandfather. My mom cried happy tears. My wife and I stood in front of the smoke cannons, holding hands. She squeezed my hand and smiled at me. "Ready, Daddy?" she whispered. "Absolutely," I said. We counted down together. 3, 2, 1. Blue smoke everywhere, massive clouds of it. Everyone cheered. "It's a boy." People rushed forward to congratulate us. My wife started crying happy tears, hugging her mom, hugging her sister. I walked over to the projector, powered it on. The screen behind us lit up. "Hey everyone," I called out. "Before we cut the cake, I have one more surprise." My wife looked over, confused but still smiling. "What surprise?" "Just a little something I put together," I said. The first slide appeared, paternity test results. Probability of paternity, 0%. The crowd went silent. My wife's face drained of color. "What? What is that?" "DNA results," I said calmly. "Turns out, I'm not the father." Her mother gasped. Her father said, "What the hell is this?" I clicked to the next slide. The full scientific breakdown, charts, graphs, the whole technical explanation. "This is a prenatal paternity test. Non-invasive, completely safe for the baby. Took it 3 weeks ago. Results came back last Thursday." My wife grabbed my arm. "This is a mistake. This has to be a mistake." "It's not. The clinic confirmed 0% chance that baby is mine." Her sister pushed forward. "You're lying. You're trying to humiliate her." I clicked to the next slide. An affidavit from the testing facility, signed and notarized. Then the next slide. A screenshot of text messages I'd recovered from our phone bill between her and a number I'd tracked down to the other guy. Nothing explicit, but enough to show constant communication. "Want to explain who this is?" I asked my wife. "The number you've been texting 15 times a day for the past year." She was full-on panicking. "You were planning to let me raise another man's child. You were going to divorce me once the baby came and take half my house and child support for a kid that isn't even mine. But I'm the bad guy for doing this publicly." Her father stepped forward. "Is this true?" My wife opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again, started crying. Her mother was crying too. "How could you? How could you do this?" I didn't think. "You didn't think I'd find out?" I finished for her. "Yeah, I figured." Her sister tried to save it. "Even if the test is right, this is cruel. She's pregnant. You can't just what? Expose the truth? She's been lying for 6 months, planning to destroy my life, but I'm cruel." My brother stepped up next to me. My dad too. The party dissolved into chaos. Half the guests started leaving immediately. My wife's family surrounded her, some trying to comfort her, others demanding answers. I walked over to my lawyer, who'd been standing in the back. He handed me a folder. "What's that?" my wife asked, voice shaking. "Divorce papers being filed Monday morning. You'll be served by Tuesday." "You can't. We can work this out." "Please." "Work what out?" "You're pregnant with another man's baby. You've been cheating for over a year. You were planning to commit paternity fraud. What exactly is there to work out?" Her dad grabbed my arm. "Son, maybe we should all calm down. I'm not your son, and I've been calm for 3 weeks while I planned this. I'm done being calm." I left, just walked out, got in my car, and drove to a hotel I'd already booked. My phone exploded. Texts, calls, voicemails. I turned it off. Sunday morning, I turned my phone back on. 89 missed calls, over 200 text messages, most from her, begging, pleading, saying it was a mistake, saying we could do counseling, saying the baby might still be mine, even though she knows the test is conclusive, saying she'd do anything. Some from her family. Her mom apologizing. Her dad threatening legal action. Her sister calling me every name in the book. Some from my family, supportive messages, my mom checking if I was okay, my brother offering to let me stay with him. A few from friends, some supportive, some asking what the hell happened, some clearly believing whatever story my wife was spinning. I responded to my family, ignored everyone else. Monday morning, the divorce papers were filed. My lawyer said they tried to serve her at the house, but she wasn't there. Finally tracked her down at her parents' place. She's been calling me nonstop. I haven't answered. Her lawyer called my lawyer yesterday. Apparently, she wants to negotiate the divorce terms, wants the house, wants spousal support, wants me to pay for her medical expenses through the pregnancy. My lawyer left. She committed paternity fraud. We have documentation. She gets nothing. But here's the thing. The state we live in has weird laws about this. Because we're married, I'm legally presumed to be the father unless I challenge it in court, which I'm doing, obviously. But until the baby is born and I can do a post-birth paternity test to confirm the prenatal one, I'm technically on the hook. My lawyer says the prenatal test is solid, but courts prefer post-birth confirmation. So I have to wait another 3 months for the baby to be born, then immediately demand a court-ordered paternity test, then get my name removed from the birth certificate. 3 more months of this nightmare. Meanwhile, my wife is living with her parents. I'm in the house. I changed the locks. Lawyer said I could since it's marital property and I'm not denying her stuff, just her access without supervision. She showed up yesterday with her sister demanding her things. I called my lawyer. He sent someone to supervise. She packed up her clothes, toiletries, some personal items, cried the whole time. "Why are you doing this?" she kept asking. I didn't answer. Just let her pack. When she left, she turned to me. "I really did love you, you know." "No," I said. "You loved what I could provide. There's a difference." She's gone now. The house feels empty. The nursery I'd been setting up is still half finished. I haven't touched it. People keep asking if I feel bad about the public reveal. Honestly, no. She was going to humiliate me privately, let me raise another man's child while she planned her exit strategy. I just humiliated her publicly instead. Fair trade. 2 weeks later, things escalated. Her dad showed up at my house, tried to force his way in, yelling about how I destroyed his daughter's life. I called the cops. They showed up, took statements, told him to leave. He did, but not before promising this wasn't over. Her mom started a phone campaign, calling my parents, my brother, even my boss, spinning some story about how I'd abandoned my pregnant wife over a misunderstanding about the paternity test. My boss called me in. "Want to explain what's going on?" I showed him the divorce filing, the paternity test results. He read them, said, "Take whatever time you need. This is a mess." Her sister started posting vague things on social media. Some people show their true colors when things get hard. Abandoning a pregnant woman is unforgivable. Family means standing by each other no matter what. Never named me directly. Didn't have to. Everyone knew. I didn't respond. Didn't engage. My lawyer said not to, but then she made a mistake. Posted something just specific enough. Imagine humiliating someone at what should be the happiest moment of their life because you couldn't handle the truth. A mutual friend commented, "What truth?" She responded, "That biology doesn't matter as much as love and commitment." Another friend, "Wait, are you saying the baby isn't his?" She deleted the whole thread within an hour, but screenshots exist. My lawyer has them now. Meanwhile, my wife tried a different tactic. Showed up at my work parking lot, waited by my car. "We need to talk," she said. "No, we don't." "Talk to my lawyer. Please, just 5 minutes." Against my better judgment, I gave her 3. "I made a mistake," she started. "I was scared and confused and I made bad choices. But we can fix this. We can go to counseling." "No, you weren't confused. You were calculated. I heard you on the phone. You planned this. You were using me." I know how it sounded, but how it sounded? I have the paternity test results. 0%. The baby isn't mine. Maybe the test was wrong. It wasn't. We could do another one. To prove what? That you're still a liar? We're done. She grabbed my arm. I'm pregnant. I'm scared. I don't know what I'm going to do. Figure it out. You and the actual father. He won't. He's not. It's complicated. Not my problem. I got in my car. She stood there crying. I drove away. Her lawyer called my lawyer the next day. They're challenging the divorce, claiming I haven't met the grounds for fault-based divorce, that I'm being unnecessarily cruel, that she deserves spousal support regardless of the paternity. My lawyer filed a counter-motion, included the paternity test results, the phone records showing the year-long affair, and a request for her to cover her own legal fees due to the fraudulent nature of her pregnancy claim. He also filed a motion to prevent her from putting my name on the birth certificate. Courts can do that if there's clear evidence the husband isn't the father. That hearing is next month. But here's where it gets interesting. Remember the other guy, the actual father? My wife apparently tried to get him to step up, told him about the baby, asked him to be involved. He denied it. Said the baby could be anyone's. Said he wasn't taking responsibility without proof. So she tried to claim it was mine again. Came crawling back with the story about how maybe the test was wrong, maybe there was a mix-up at the lab, maybe she was confused about the timeline. My lawyer sent her lawyer a very clear message. The prenatal test will be confirmed with a post-birth test. If she tries to put my name on the birth certificate, we'll challenge it immediately. If she tries to claim child support, we'll establish paternity through the courts. She has zero leverage. Her lawyer apparently advised her to stop contacting me. She hasn't called in 4 days. Her family is relentless. Her sister posted a long rant about men who abandon pregnant women and paternity tests, destroying families, and trusting your partner through hard times. The comment section was brutal. People who were at the party, people who'd heard what happened, all chiming in with the actual story. She cheated for a year. The baby literally isn't his. He has proof. Maybe she shouldn't have committed paternity fraud. She deleted the post within 2 hours. My wife's mom called my mom again, tried the grandmother-to-grandmother approach. How can you let your son treat my daughter this way? My mom, who is normally the sweetest person alive, apparently said, your daughter tried to trap my son with another man's baby. He's treating her exactly how she deserves. Haven't heard from that side since. The house is quiet. I've started packing up the nursery. Don't know what to do with all this baby stuff yet. Might donate it. Some nights are harder than others. Not because I miss her, but because I'm processing what almost happened. I almost raised another man's child. I almost let her take half my house and my money for a lie. I almost spent the next 18 years paying child support for a kid that isn't mine. The rage comes in waves, but mostly I'm just tired. The divorce proceedings continue. My lawyer says with the evidence we have, it should be straightforward. She'll get nothing but her personal belongings. No house, no alimony, no nothing. 3 more months until the baby is born. Then the final paternity test. Then my name officially off any documents. Then finally, this will be over. People keep asking if I regret the gender reveal party revelation. No. She played games. She lost. That's all there is to it. 3 months later, the baby was born. A boy, 7 pounds 3 ounces. I know because the court-ordered paternity test was done the day after birth. Results came back, 0% probability of paternity. Confirmed. My lawyer filed the paperwork immediately. My name will never appear on that birth certificate. I have no legal or financial obligation to that child. The divorce was finalized last week. She got nothing. No house, no alimony, no assets beyond what she came into the marriage with. The prenup my lawyer had insisted on 4 years ago, the one she tried to claim was unromantic, but eventually signed, held up perfectly in court. I kept the house, my retirement accounts, my car, everything. She's living with her parents still. The actual father finally stepped up after she threatened him with a paternity suit. They're apparently trying to make it work for the baby's sake. Good luck with that. Her family stopped contacting me about a month ago. I think they finally accepted reality. I heard through mutual friends that she tells people we grew apart and the divorce was mutual. Doesn't mention the affair. Doesn't mention the paternity fraud. Just vague statements about incompatibility. Fine by me. I don't need to tell the story anymore. The people who matter know the truth. My life has returned to mostly normal. Work is good. My family is supportive. I've been seeing a therapist to process everything, which helps. The house still feels empty sometimes. I repainted the nursery, turned it into a home office. New furniture, new purpose. I went on one date last month. Nice woman. Met through a friend. It was fine. Not ready for anything serious, but it was good to remember I can still have normal conversations with normal people. Some nights I still get angry. Think about what she tried to do, how close it came to working, how my entire life would have been different if I hadn't come home early that day. But mostly, I'm just relieved it's over. A couple of legal things worth mentioning. She tried to get spousal support 3 separate times. Denied every time. The fraud was too clear. She tried to claim emotional distress damages from the gender reveal party. The judge literally said, "You committed paternity fraud and you're claiming emotional distress?" Denied. Her lawyer fees are her problem. Mine were substantial, but worth every penny. The actual father is on the birth certificate now. He's paying child support. They're not together anymore. Lasted about 6 weeks after the baby was born. Shocking. My ex-wife's social media has been quiet. No more victim posting. I think her family finally told her to stop. I saw her once about 3 weeks ago at a grocery store. She was with the baby. Looked tired, stressed. Saw me and quickly turned down another aisle. I finished my shopping and left. Felt nothing. That's how I know I'm healing. She's just a stranger now. Someone I used to know. Someone who tried to ruin my life and failed. People ask if I think the gender reveal party was too much. If I regret the public humiliation. Honestly, I probably could have handled it differently. Filed for divorce quietly. Let the truth come out gradually. That would have been the mature thing to do. But she wasn't planning to be mature. She was planning to trap me, use me, discard me when convenient. So, no, I don't regret it. She wanted a party. She got one she'll never forget. As for me, I'm moving forward. Selling the house, actually. Too many memories. Too much baggage. Found a nice condo downtown. Fresh start. I'm 32 now. Divorced. No kids. Starting over, but I'm starting over on my terms, with my assets intact, with my future my own. That's worth everything. To everyone who followed this story, thanks for the support, the messages, the encouragement, the "you did the right thing" comments. They help more than you know. Final thought. Trust your gut. If something feels wrong, investigate. Don't ignore red flags. Don't let love make you blind. I almost learned that lesson the hardest way possible. Now I'm free to find someone who actually deserves trust. Someone who wouldn't even think about what my ex-wife did. She's out there somewhere, and I've got time to find her. As for my ex-wife, she made her choices. She's living with them now. And that's exactly how it should be.